Hi, boys and girls. This story is called The Greedy Python. Now, we learned yesterday that a snake is a type of oviparous animal. A snake is an animal that hatches from an egg. So, this story is a fiction story about a python. A python is a type of snake. They grow really big and long, and they like to squeeze the animals that they eat. So they squeeze them and then they eat them. This book is the author is Richard Buckley and the illustrator is Eric Carle. And that's the same illustrator who made that book last week that we read called The Tiny Seed. So you'll notice these are really neat pictures. The Greedy Python. And think about what that word greedy means. Greedy means they're not very good at sharing. They want everything for themselves. The Greedy Python. Half hidden in the jungle green, the biggest snake there's ever been, wound back and forth and in between. So they like to hide in the jungle because they're green. They can hide from other animals. The giant snake was very, very strong and very, very, very long. He had a monstrous appetite. His stomach stretched from left to right. So he's a huge animal and he really likes to eat a lot. He quickly gobbled in one bite whatever creature came in sight. A mouse that scampered to and fro, a frog that jumped up from below, a bat that hung from his left toe, a fish that swam a bit too slow, a bird that flew a bit too low. So those are all real animals that a python might want to eat from the jungle. A porcupine still half asleep, a monkey who was in mid-leap, a leopard sitting in a tree, a buffalo who came to see. So think about these animals started out teeny tiny like a mouse, and then they got as big as a buffalo and a leopard, both huge animals. An elephant complete with trunk was swallowed in a single chunk. I'm far too big to eat, he cried. Oh, no, you're not, the snake replied. Think about how big an elephant is and the size of a snake in their mouth. And this is where it's silly. At last the python's meal was done and he lay resting in the sun. The animals inside his skin were making quite a dreadful din. So there's his face and there's his tail, and look at what happened. His body got all stretched out from eating all those animals. So that's the silly part. And when they all began to kick, the snake began to feel quite sick. He coughed the whole lot up again, each one of them, and there were 10. So let's think about what they all were, 10 of them. There was a mouse, a frog, a bird, a bat, a porcupine, a monkey, an elephant, a leopard, a fish, and a buffalo. So there were 10. He soon felt better and what's more, was hungrier than just before. He didn't learn a single thing. His greed was quite astonishing. He saw his own tail long and curved and thought that lunch was being served. So he saw this and he forgot that's what his tail looked like. And watch this. Greedy. He closed his jaws on his own rear, then swallowed hard and disappeared. So he swallowed his own self into his mouth. That is silly, silly, silly. The Greedy Python.